everybody. Welcome back to Wells Fargo Friday right here on Valley Life. I'm Rich Krebs. And you know, I always thought that I'd feel so comfortable sitting in a boardroom, but I don't know the first thing about making one of these things run. But I'll introduce you to two people right now that definitely do. Mr. Scott Rhodes, how are you, sir?
Very good. Thank you very much.
Good. And Deb Nangava, how are you?
Hi, nice to see you, Rich.
Now, the main focus we want to talk about right now in this segment is the Fresno Business Council. And Deb, you're the executive director, so what better person to talk to? But give us a rundown. What's the Fresno Business Council all about? And then we'll kind of get into a little more of Scott's involvement and how Wells Fargo's helping out with this whole thing.
Sure, I'm happy to talk about it. It's basically a community stewardship body that over the years has evolved into a group of people that understand how the community fits together and works together. Perfect. The members are all CEOs of business, academia, hospitals, some of our major CBOs, all working together on transformational change.
Now, there's some great ideas that people have. They start some businesses. Maybe they've been embedded for a long time, and they kind of lose focus a little bit. Having some CEOs and people to turn to kind of help them out is tremendous to growing our economy and also keeping everything flowing in the directions it's supposed to, especially here for the Central Valley. Is that kind of a little thing you can work into helping people out?
Absolutely. In fact, many people have heard about the Regional Jobs Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about that, it's basically focusing on our strongest industry clusters and then aligning resources behind them. Okay. Our educational institutions, building the infrastructure they need so that we can become globally competitive.
Got it. And Scott, you've taken the initiative not only as an employee with Wells Fargo, but also getting involved to make sure that this entity is as strong and powerful as it can be.
Absolutely. So often what you see is you see really good-hearted people in their own little spheres, just doing by themselves. And this is really bringing it together with business, with government and infrastructure, and with the whole human services and the support mechanism working together to really create holistic solutions.
Sure. And Deb, what's the main impetus? What gets you guys started and makes everything happen so that you can help other people?
Well, I think it was 17 years ago, people were really concerned about the social and economic indicators in our region. Over these years, we've discovered how many assets we've had. We've shifted over to a value-based approach where we look at our assets, build on those. Stewardship is a major thing, collaboration, different ways of doing the community business.
Sure. Well, Scott, being part of an amazing company that also has great resources and amazing volunteers like yourself that get involved and make things happen, that makes a program like this that much more powerful as you bring in the connections you have to kind of get everybody working together.
Absolutely. One of the core things with Wells Fargo here is that we take a very long-term view of this community, that we're invested for the long term. You know, been here for 150 years and plan on the next 150 years. And something what the Business Council is doing is really, you know, those foundational things that create the quality of life and those core changes that we all know are important, and how do we work together to get those done? And that's the exciting thing.
Well, Deb, part of that stems from people's intellect, and two, their ability to do some things and throw in some hours. What types of people are you looking for that kind of come together for you to make this whole thing work?
Well, it's been extraordinarily humbling watching major people spend tremendous amounts of volunteer time, because I'm the only staff. It's been around for 17 years. Our members do the real work.
That's a tribute to you. I'm going to toot your own horn right there, but you're doing fabulous work. So what kind of people then are you bringing in?
I mean, when you've got the leaders of major businesses, the president of the university, hospital administrators, taking on the responsibility to lead as citizens of the whole, that's a phenomenal thing. We're considered one of the innovative leaders in civic transformation in California.
Right. Now, from the ground level then, so it all gets started, they make the phone call to you and say, hey, we need some help, or you see something that you can jump into. Then how does that transformation go into actual hands-on, real-time, hours going towards a project?
Well, if you think about something like the Regional Jobs Initiative, figuring out the strategy was one of our major functions. In terms of execution, we're linking, aligning, and leveraging resources that already exist. So it's getting the institutions and CBOs working together rather than competing or in silos. So in a sense, we provide that thought leadership, and then our members provide leadership, hands-on, and then the final execution is at the very bottom in the grassroots.
Sure. Well, looking at the beautiful brochure that you've got put out too, it's kind of this trinity of the circles that are connected, and it's all about the overlap too, where people's different expertise can get involved and just really make something come together.
Absolutely, and the most important thing that we've learned along the way is that fourth sphere. It circles all of them, and that's where you can lead as a citizen first.
So give me a little bit of your involvement, Scott, before we have to throw it to commercial, and then I'm going to come back and go really deep into this. But how did you get started on this whole thing, and then what initiative have you taken from there?
I coming new into the Central Valley. I met Deb very early in the process and saw somebody who got it. You know, we talked about how so often we get people stepping on each other to get to the solutions that we need. Right. And this was a chance, and I had an opportunity to join the board and kind of bring some of the thoughts of Wells Fargo to it, and what we can do from a business leadership standpoint. And then just recently joined the executive board to really help in casting like the vision of how do we really bring this tremendous talent, the tremendous resources we have in this valley together to really create a foundation for some real fundamental change.
And now you've just opened up a whole new can of worms of questions I've got for you. We're going to throw it to commercial real quick, and we'll come right back with Wells Fargo Friday. Some more questions, and also how either you may be one that wants to get involved or maybe need a little bit of help and you've got something that you need some help with your vision. We're going to get to the root of those questions right after this on Wells Fargo Friday here on Valley Life.